Hello everyone, good evening. Yeah, everyone able to see my screen? Can you confirm anyone? I'm audible.
Yeah, yes, sir. Screen is good and audio is also good.
Yeah, yeah, fine. Yeah, so in the last session we discussed about server architecture, right? So what is server and types of servers, server client model. So server architecture, in server architecture, initial phase of implementation, second phase of implementation, and also third phase of implementation, which is a Docker, and yeah, third phase of implementation is virtualization. Fourth phase of implementation, which is Docker architecture, right? So these are all we discussed. Fine. So before going to cloud, first we need to understand all these basics, and this terminology is very important. Terminology is very important. So if you understand this terminology, you can easily understand cloud terminology, cloud infrastructure, right? So that is why before going to cloud, we need to understand this. Fine. Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about computer networks. So types of networks. What is network? What is a load balancer? What is firewall? What is failover? IP address, subnet mask, gateway, router. These are all we discuss. Anyone newly joined today? So first session. Anyone joined today? So you can share your WhatsApp number and the email address in the chat, so that will provide you previous recordings, course content. Yeah. So today we will discuss about what is network, types of networks, what is IP address, what is subnet, what is gateway, what is router, what is firewall, and failover load balancer. So these are all we'll discuss today. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So what is network? Anyone? What is network? Network. Anyone having idea? Real time, guys. Network is a group of servers or group of resources which are hosted in the data center, right? So network is a group of servers or group of resources. Fine. So here, say computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources, right? See here. So these are all desktops or laptops we can use, and we can connect through either LAN cable, local area network, or wide area network, or Wi-Fi to share the information, to share the resources, right? Yeah. So in the organization, normally we use the LAN connectivity. So currently, most of the organizations they are using Wi-Fi. So we can carry the laptop to breakout area also, cafeteria also, right? Yeah. So because everywhere Wi-Fi in the office premises, right? Yeah. Now, what are the important types of networks available? Okay. So we have four important types of networks available. So which are PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN. So personal area network, local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network. So let us go with one by one. So personal area network. So PAN is a computer network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile, or personal digital assistant. PAN can be used for establishing communication among these personal devices for connecting to a digital network and the internet. So what does it mean? See here. For example, so in our room or in our space, so we use the Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth mic, Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth printer, scanner, right? Yeah. So this is personal area network. So within the room, within the floor only we can use this. If you move to other floor, so out of the range it will not work, right? So within the room or within the floor, we can use this personal area network devices, like which are like yeah. So mic and earphones, headsets, Bluetooth earphones, headsets, keyboards, mouse, printers, scanners, all this. Okay, yeah. So here, what are the advantages of PAN? See here, PAN networks are relatively secure and safe. So why this PAN network is very secure and safe, right? So why the people are using, right? So why the importance of for this PAN network, right? So here normally, so when we have limited area, limited distance, so no one can hack first thing. Okay, so yeah, that is not mandatory actually. We don't require, but if you want to use, anyone if they want to use, they can connect PAN connectivity. So Bluetooth, right? Yeah, it offers only short range solution up to 10 meters. Only 10 meters it will work. If you move to out of the range, this will not be, this will not work out, right? So strictly restricted to smaller areas such as a room, yeah, such as small rooms or floor within the building, we can use that within the floor. Okay, yeah. So disadvantage of PAN. So here only one disadvantage is, which is distance limits. Okay. Next one, what is LAN? So LAN is important here. So currently, most of the organizations they're using LAN and Wi-Fi also. So LAN. So LAN stands for local area network. It is a global. It is a group of network devices that allow communication between various connected devices. It covers this. It covers the smallest areas such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. So most of the hospitals, schools, colleges, factories, they're using the LAN connectivity. So what are the advantages of LAN? So many advantages are there here. Okay, so this is a LAN connectivity. So we configure server in server room, and we use the different routers, different switches, so different network devices, so to connect this LAN connectivity, right? So network hubs, internet hubs we can use here. So printers, scanners also we can connect here, right? Yeah, so here what are the advantages? So computer resources like hard disk, DVD RAM, and printers can share local area networks. This significantly reduce the cost of hardware purchases. So, for example, there is a school. In the school, five floors. There are five floors, right? So every floor is having some systems, laptops and desktops, right? Yeah. So here, what we will do normally, what they do. So yeah, in real world, so every organization, every school, every college, everyone, they try to reduce the costing, right? So instead of configuring printers, scanners in each floor, what they will do? So normally what they do? So they configure only one printer, one scanner in the middle of the building. So either second floor or first floor or third floor, they configure. So that printer or scanner we can configure as a network printer. Network printer. So from any floor we can send the request, print request, right? From any floor we can send the request, we can print the documents. That request will go through the network, LAN network. So due to this, what will happen? So costing will be reduced. So instead of configuring printers in every floor, we can configure only one printer in the floor, any middle of the floor, so that we can print the documents from any floor, any place within the building, right? Yeah, so that yeah, here hardware purchase will be reduced. So data of all network users can store in on a single hard disk of the server computer. Normally, uh, hospitals, schools, or factories, colleges. So we will use some servers. Normally, the colleges are using servers, right? So the server we can configure inside of the server room. So we can access the data through network, LAN network. So we can check the data, we can modify the data, right? So that what will happen? All the users, they can access the central data, they can store the data in central location, so that data will be more secure, so no one can hack, right? So we don't save any data in our laptops or desktops normally. So we always connect the data from server. We can store the data in server. Normally in hospitals, schools, and colleges, right? Factories. It will be easy to manage data at only one place, which makes data more secure. So central data administrators can easily manage, which is more secure, right? So no one can hack. Fine. Next one, disadvantage of LAN. See here. So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repository. So if the LAN admin is not capable, what will happen? So hackers will enter into the network, right? So LAN administrator, you need to maintain some security layers, right? Yeah. So what is MAN? So MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. It covers the largest area than LAN, such as small towns, cities, and etc. So MAN connects two or more computers that resides within the same or completely different cities, right? So normally, when the Geo launches in Hyderabad, when Geo network launches in Hyderabad, they cut the road, middle of the road also they put the cables, right? So within the city or different cities, we can use the MAN connectivity, metropolitan area network, right? See here. So hospitals, schools, colleges, factories, we can connect this. Advantage of MAN. It offers fast communication using high-speed carriers like fiber optic cables. So normally in MAN network, we don't use the RJ45 cable. We don't use the normal cables. We always use fiber optic cables, which are very faster. Through light, the signal will go to the target resources through light, right? Yeah. So here, disadvantage of LAN. So before that, it provides excellent support for an extensive size network and greater access to a WANs, right? So a MAN network mostly includes some area of city or an entire city. Okay. Disadvantages. So you need more cables to establish MAN connection from one place to another. In MAN network is thought to make the system secure from hackers because large distance, right? Longer distance, right? So that is why. So we need to protect the network using security layers. Otherwise, what will happen? Hackers will enter into the network. So WAN connectivity. WAN stands for Wide Area Network. It covers a large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country, continent, etc. So WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one organization. So normally it is a country to country, continent to continent. So if you want to establish this WAN connection, so one company, one organization, they cannot spend that much of budget, right? That is why. So group of organizations, they take the connectivity from country to country, continent to continent, right? So it is a satellite communication. It is not cable. It is not fiber optic. It is not man, right? Yeah, it is a satellite communication. Satellite medium is used for wide area networks. See here, it's a combination of LAN, MAN, and WAN. Advantage of WAN. So WAN helps you to cover a larger geographical area. Therefore, business offices situated at longer distance can easily communicate. Yeah. So WAN connections work using radio transmitters and receivers built into client devices. Disadvantages. So the initial setup cost of investment is very higher. So normally country to country, continent to continent means initial setup cost is very higher, right? So yeah, it is difficult to maintain the WAN network. You need skilled technicians and network administrators. There are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and the use of different technologies. We can configure this WAN connectivity, right? So see here, this is the combination of LAN, MAN, and WAN, country to country, continent to continent. Fine. Yeah. So these are the four important networks which are available. right? So PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN, right? So personal area network, local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network, right? So currently, most of the organizations they are using LAN and also Wi-Fi also using, even though we can use the wide area network also, right? Yeah. Now let us go and work on discuss about IP addresses. Any questions, Andy? So far, any questions up to here? Anyone having any questions? So currently, we are not using any physical networks, right? So networking will be taken care by network will taken care by so cloud vendors only. We don't need to worry about the networking part. So instead of the instead of the data center, we create the VPC. Instead of the data center, we can create the VPC, which is a virtual private cloud. So how to create virtual private cloud, that we will see practically while working on VPC in AWS service. That is AWS service. While working on VPC, we'll go very deep dive. Okay, how to establish the connectivity? How can we create our own network, isolated network? How can we communicate? Right? Yeah. So that we will, practically will work on that. Next one. So what is an IP address? IP address. What is IP address? Anyone? What is IP address? Anyone having idea? Right. So IP stands for Internet Protocol, right? So what is IP address? It is a unique address. It is a unique address for
Every server.
every system, every laptop, or every desktop. To identify the device in the network, we require IP address, right? See here. IP stands for Internet Protocol. An IP address is a unique address that identify a device on the internet or a local network, which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via internet or local area network, right? Yeah. So normally every laptop or desktop or server is having unique IP address. Okay. For example, if I open command prompt here, if I check IP config, see here. So this is my IP address. This is my IP address. Every laptop or desktop or server is having their own IP address. So IPv4. What is IPv4? Anyone? IPv4. IP version 4. IP version 4. Currently we are using IP version 4. Maybe going forward we use the IP version 6. IPv6. So IPv4 is the 32-bit address. IPv6 is the IPv6, how many bits and anyone? IPv4 is the 32-bit address. IPv6,
64.
64.
IPv6 is the 128-bit address. It's very advanced one. IPv4 is 32-bit address. So IPv4 is having 4 octets. 4 octets. Each octet is having 8 bits. 8 into 4, 32-bit address, right? But IPv6 is having 128-bit address. That is very advanced one. So maybe after 1 year, after 2 years, we will use that. So currently, so in India we are using IP version 4. So in US they are started using IP version 6 also, right? Yeah. So subnet mask, subnet. What is subnet? Anyone? Yesterday we discussed subnet. Subnet is a small network, small network inside of the large network, right? Yeah. Gateway. Gateway is a router address. Gate is a door, just like door. If you want to communicate outside world, if you want to allow inbound traffic, outbound traffic, we require gateway, right? So we'll go with one by one. Okay. Yeah. Now, so types of IP addresses. Types of IP addresses. See here. There are various classifications of IP addresses, and each category further contains some types. First one is private IP address. Second one is public IP address, right? So third one is elastic IP address. Normally, every laptop or desktop having only one IP, which is network IP, right? So even though in my laptop also we check the IP, right? Only one IP is there. But cloud side, three types of IPs will be there. Three types of IPs: private IP, public IP, elastic IP. So what is public? What is private IP? So private IP is a static IP, static IP. Public IP is a dynamic IP. Elastic IP is a static IP. So here, normally to connect cloud server, we use the public IP address, which is a dynamic IP. What is dynamic IP? Anyone? Dynamic IP. So dynamically,
IP address changes.
What we search is in this, since we collected the information of each app.
dynamically the IP will be changed every time when we stop start server. For example, we are using public IP in AWS server. In AWS, we created one server. For that server, we are using public IP. So normally by default we use the public IP. So every public IP is a dynamic IP. That IP dynamically IP will be changed when we stop start server. Why the IP will be changed? Because backend in data center there will be a DHCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol server. So that server take back the old IP, it will give the new IP when we stop start server. Every time when we stop start server, IP will be changed, right? So yeah, here private IP is the static IP, permanent IP. So to connect our cloud server, we use the public IP. So once you log into the server, we always use the private IP address. So public IP is dynamic IP, private IP is static IP. Next one is elastic IP. What is elastic IP? Elastic IP also a static IP. So why we require elastic IP? So in place of public IP, we attach elastic IP because public IP every time when we stop start server, IP is changed, right? IP will be changed. So if the IP is changing every time, developers, testers, DevOps engineers, everyone will be confused, right? So to avoid that, what we will do? We attach the elastic IP address in place of public IP. So elastic IPs are not free of cost, right? Chargeable. So how can we generate the elastic IP from data center? How can we get that IP? How can we attach to the server? How can we detach to the server? How can we detach from the server? So these are all we'll discuss. Practically, we'll see that. Practically, I will work on this. Okay. Yeah. So three types of IPs available. Next one, subnet. What is subnet? Subnet is a sub network, small network. Instead of the large network, we can create a small network. Why we require small network, right? So for example, we have 1,000 servers are available in our project. Okay. So 300 servers are development servers, 300 servers are QA servers, quality assurance servers, 400 servers are database servers, for example, production servers. So if you configure all the servers in the same subnet, they can communicate each other. That is why, so for database servers, normally database servers, we should not allow inbound traffic. If you allow inbound traffic to the database servers, there may be chances to leak the data. That is why what we will do. So database servers, we can configure in different subnet. We can create the custom rules, inbound rules, outbound rules, so that we can restrict the traffic to the database servers. So to control inbound, outbound traffic, we use the subnets, subnetworks. See here, subnet or subnetwork is a smaller network instead of a large network, right? See here, these are all the subnets, small networks. Fine. So here 200.200.10.48/29 slash 25 slash 28. What is slash 28 29? So now let us go and check this. What is 28 29? We'll see that. For example, sub subnet ranges. See here. Why these are occurring? Okay. Anyways, fine. So here, for example, /16. For example, if you take /16, okay. So here we can accommodate 65,536 IP addresses. In this range, 65,536 IP addresses. How can we calculate 2 to the power of 16? 2 to the power of 16. 65,536 IPs. So these are the total IPs. These are the usable IPs. So 65,534. Other two IPs, what happened here? Other two IPs, those are broadcast address. Broadcast address. Broadcasting. Okay. So next one, see here. /24, 256 addresses. Here, total IPs are 256. Usable IPs 254. See here. Number of IPs, usable IPs, right? So here 29, 8 IPs, right? Usable 6, 28, 16 IPs, usable 14. So other two IPs, broadcast address, right? So this is the way we can, yeah, check the ranges, IP range. Fine. Yeah. So practically we'll see this while working on AWS services. So practically, how can we check the subnets? How can we configure the IP addresses? So practically we'll see that. Yeah. So these are the small networks, sub networks. Next one, what is a network switch? So a switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables are plugged into a switch to enable communication between different network devices. See here. So this is the old traditional switch. So here, so backside of the switch, ports are available. So we can connect RJ45 cable, LAN cables to the switch to communicate, right? To enable the communication here. Fine. So what is gateway? Gateway is a router, network router. See here, this is the gateway. So what is gateway? What is the use of gateway? So gateway. The name itself is saying something gate, right? So here, this is one network. This is another network. So network to network, some IP range will be different. See here, this is the IP range 10.0.0.0/8, 20.0.0.0/8. So network address is completely changed here, right? So if the network address is completely changed, they cannot communicate from this network to this network, first network to second network. So we cannot communicate. For example, if you want to communicate from this PC4 to this PC5, for example, so communication will not be happen because network address is completely changed. So to enable the communication between two different networks, we require gateways. Gateway is a device to enable the communication between two different networks, right? Next one, what is firewall? Firewall, right? See here, firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming and outgoing traffic within the network, right? See here. Now, this is the firewall. So inside of the firewall, what we will do, we enable the firewall rules. Firewall rules. So as per the firewall rules, the firewall will control the traffic. So here, if you want to connect your office network, private network, what we will do, we can connect through internet, right? Internet is the most vulnerable network, most dangerous network. So that is why, so incoming traffic, right? So if the traffic is good traffic, this will be allowed. The traffic is bad traffic, this will not be allowed. Firewall will not be allowed. Firewall will be block the bad traffic, right? Yeah. So we enable the firewall rules. So based on the firewall rules, this firewall will control the traffic. It will allow good traffic, will deny the bad traffic, right? Next one. So replication failover load balancer. Replication failover load balancer. So what is replication? Anyone? Replication అంటే ఏంటండి? Anyone having idea?
Image, exact image.
Replication is a duplication. Duplication. right? One region to other region, we can, one data center to other data center, we can duplicate the data. Failover, what is failover, anyone? Failover. So once we enable the replication, data will be replicated from one region to other region. In case one region is down, another region, secondary region will take care of the applications. Automatically that will be failover to secondary region. Automatically second region will be enabled, which is nothing but failover. Load balancer. What is load balancer, anyone? Load balancer.
Balances the traffic load.
Balance the traffic or load, right? For example, in our team, 10 members are there. In our team, 10 members, right? So 10 members are DevOps engineers, for example. So yeah, in 10 members, 5 members went on leave. So 10 members are getting every day, each one getting 30 requests. So yeah, 5 members went on leave. What will happen? That request will be shared to other people. So everyone get 60 requests per day, right? That load will be balanced to other 5 members. Fine. The same way, for example, we have 10 servers are there in the project. Okay. So one server is having some issues, one server is down, that load will be balanced to other servers. Okay. Yeah. See here. This is a replication. See here. This is replication. One data center. See here. This is the primary region. Primary region. Region is a data center. Region is a data center. Primary region to second region, we can enable the replication. So whatever the data is available on the primary region, that will be replicated to secondary region. So in case primary region is down, so the user is connected, primary region is accessing data from primary region. So in case primary region is down, what will happen? So that will be failover to automatically secondary region. You can access the data from secondary region. Same data is available in the second region, right? Because data replication enabled. Fine. Yeah. So failover is very important concept. Replication also very important concept, right? While working on Kubernetes, Docker, so we enable the failover. We work on replication methodologies also, right? So in case one region is down, nothing will be happened. Data will be available from other region, second region, right? Next one, cluster. What is cluster? Cluster is a group of devices or group of servers. So benefits of cluster. What are the benefits? So load balancing and fault tolerance. Fault tolerance, load balancing. Fault tolerance. What is fault tolerance? So in this servers, digital applications are running. For example, Flipkart or Amazon shopping site running on this servers, for example. So in case 5 servers are crash or down, application will not be down because other servers will take care of the application, which is a fault tolerance, right? And also load balancing. In case one server is getting more request, right? So that load will be balanced to other servers equally. Yeah, the request will be shared to other servers, which is nothing but load balancing. So here cluster is a group of servers or devices. Benefits of cluster is fault tolerance and load balancing. Fine. Yeah. So currently, every organization, every project team, they're using Linux operating system, right? So most of the servers we are using Linux servers only. So why we are using Linux servers? What is the importance of Linux servers? So why the project teams are using Linux servers? Let's try to understand. Okay. So when we compare with Windows, Linux is more secure because we use the CLI. In Linux, we use the CLI, command line interface, right? CLI is more secure. So GUI, compare with the GUI, CLI is more secure. So any viruses release directly attack to the GUI first. CLI is secure, right? And also very faster. Linux operating system is very faster. right? So many advantages are there, right, in Linux. See here, it is a free and open source. Linux is free, open source, very secure, so many distributions available, fast performance, very faster. These are all advantages. Free, open source, secure, distributions, fast performance. Okay. No viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs. That is why. So every project in they are integrating, they are deploying. Server side we always use the Linux. Desktop, laptop side we use the Windows. Okay. Yeah. So every data center, 95% servers Linux only 5% servers Windows. Fine. Yeah, these are all concepts, very basic concepts. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to start AWS. Okay, so tomorrow how to create AWS account, how can we connect AWS account, how can we check the resources, how can we create the resources in AWS. Okay, so these are all we'll discuss tomorrow, we'll start tomorrow. Yeah, so any questions anyone before going to course content? I'll show you course content now. Before going to that, any questions anyone? Yeah. So now let us walk through the course content here. Okay, this one. See here. So multi-cloud with DevOps. So these are all DevOps concepts. What is DevOps? SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Right. So here Agile and Scrum. Right. Yeah. So here in our course, shell scripting also will be covered. So here Linux also will be covered. Okay. So after that, see here, these are the tools. Git. Git is a source code management. Git is a repository tool or version control tool, right? So this is completely developer tool. Developers always work on their local Git. Git is the repository, right? Repository tool, version control tool. So here Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven. See here, Git models. These are the Git models here. From here to here, Git models. From here to here, Git models. Okay. So Maven. These are all the Maven. Maven is a build tool which generates artifacts. Artifact is nothing but archive file like war file, jar file, ER file. So next one, Jenkins is a continuous integration tool, right? So from here, these are all Jenkins modules here. So Jenkins is the core tool. Our role starts from Jenkins. In real-time projects, always connect Jenkins servers. We will always connect Jenkins servers. We work on Jenkins jobs and integrations, code movement, code merging, code pulling, right? So we work on different types of tickets, right? We automate the activities, right? Yeah. So next one, Ansible. So this JFrog is removed actually. So currently we are not using in projects, right? So here, Ansible is very advanced tool, very core tool. Ansible is very advanced tool, very core tool, right? So automation tool, configuration management tool. So next one, Docker. Docker is a containerization tool, container tool or containerization tool, right? In place of servers, we use the containers here. So from here to, so here, okay, these are the modules. Next one, Kubernetes. These are the Kubernetes modules. These are the Terraform modules. So Docker and Kubernetes, these two tools are very core tools, very advanced tools. Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. These four are very core tools, advanced tools, right? You need to focus on Kubernetes and Docker. If you are good in Docker and Kubernetes, along with that cloud platform, one platform, AWS platform, you can easily crack your interview. You can easily get into the project. Okay. Yeah. So you need to focus on Docker, Kubernetes, and Jenkins. Okay. Next one, monitoring tools. Grafana, Prometheus also will be covered in our course. These are the monitoring tools. Okay. So next one, Amazon Web Services, AWS modules. See here, these are all the modules available. EC2, availability zones, regions, right? Yeah, Amazon machine images, VM creation in AWS, EC2 instances, EBS, Elastic Block Store, network and security, right? Virtual Private Cloud, VPC. This is the networking part. Load balancing, ELB, Elastic Load Balancing, auto scaling. How can we scale up servers? How can we scale down servers, right? And also Amazon Route 53. So how can we configure the static websites? How can we get the domain? How can we configure the domain? These are all we'll discuss here. So relational database service, RDS, security identity, here, security identity service, IAM, identity and access management, right? So CloudWatch, Cloud Formation, Amazon S3, simple storage service. These are all very core services. SES, simple email service. SQS, simple queue service. AWS Lambdas. Lambda is a service which operates our infrastructure. Amazon simple notification service, SNS. AWS backups, right? Elastic Beanstalk. So Beanstalk is very important service. Okay. So here interview, resume preparation, frequent asked interview questions, interview tips and tricks, certification overview. Okay. Next one, Azure modules. These are all Azure modules. Fine. Yeah. Next one. Yeah. These are all Azure modules. Next one is GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So our course is multi-cloud, right? Three clouds will be covered in our course. Okay. Yeah. So Google Cloud. Yeah. GCP also very important core tool, core service. Okay. Core platform. So currently, most of the organizations they're using at least two cloud platforms, either AWS and Azure or AWS and GCP. So if you are good in three platforms, you can easily crack your interview. You can easily get into the project. See here, GCP firewalls, virtual private, yeah, virtual private network VPC, virtual private cloud actually, load balancer, right? Yeah. So these are all the modules. I'll share with you course content. Yeah. Any questions, Andy, so far? Anyone having any questions? So tomorrow onwards, link will be completely changed. So today also we use the same link, right? Meeting link. So few people requested to provide the same link today. So that is why so we use the same link today. So tomorrow onwards, link will be completely changed. Okay. So if you are not added into WhatsApp group, you can add into WhatsApp group today. So tomorrow onwards, link will be completely changed. Fine.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yes. Fine. So yeah, we'll share all the information in the group only, right? So WhatsApp group already created. We will share all the information in the group. Okay, you can check the group every day. So we'll provide you Google Classroom, which is a Google Drive. You can access the documents, recordings from the Google Drive. You can every day once complete the class after 45 minutes or 1 hour, you'll get the recording. You can access the recording and you can go through the recording. You'll get the documents, right? So using that, you can practice. If you have any questions while practicing, you can take the screenshot and post into the group. So that, yeah, if anyone already practiced, they give you response, or else I give you response. Fine. Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to start AWS. So everyone required a laptop and internet connectivity. So tomorrow we'll create AWS account, how to connect AWS account, how can we check the resources, so zones, data centers, right? So these all will check tomorrow. So and after that we'll jump into practical oriented sessions. So how can we create EC2 instance? How can we connect EC2 instance? How can we check the resources? Right, one by one. So we'll go right. So everyone practice daily basis. Everyone practice daily basis. So if you practice daily basis, you can easily crack your interview within the 3 months. Fine. Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, practical oriented sessions, all the sessions, right? So today is fifth session, right? So tomorrow we'll change the meeting link, I'll provide you in the group. Fine. Yeah, we can wind up here. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, you can call me, WhatsApp me. So my mobile number already provided you, right? How many days would take complete AWS course? Nearly 40 to 45 days. 40 days nearly. Okay. So this is my mobile number 9642211 You can take down this number. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, you can call me, so that we'll discuss. Fine. Yeah. So we can wind up here.